What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Now, we all know about what happened with JUSSIE Smollett. He was given a sentence of 150 days in jail. He could have been imposed a jail term of 3 years, and this was given by the Honorable Judge James Lynn. And we all know that Judge James Lynn had some pretty harsh words in his sentencing of Mr. Smollett. But you know, a lot of times we have to look at people, even if they're the worst of people, somebody loves them. You might see it for people who are thieves, convicts, killers, petty crimes. People will write letters to them, basically on their behalf for a lighter sentencing. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. Now, he's an awesome actor, one of the best of his time. And Mr. Smollett received a letter from him and his wife. And I want you to, and I would like to really read the letter that was given before the sentencing. We'll read that and then we'll kind of come and talk about it here, okay? Dear Judge Lynn, I write to you today. Actually, sorry about the show. It's Tati. Sad music. Dear Judge Lynn, I write to you today to ask for mercy as you sentence JUSSIE Smollett. I understand the difficult nature of your job as you seek to make decisions which take into account of the crime and the punishment. It is with the respect of knowing this that I humbly implore you to please find an alternative into incarceration for JUSSIE Smollett. It is my understanding that JUSSIE was convicted of a Class 4 disorderly conduct, which is in my understanding people convicted of this offense historically are sentenced to various alternatives to incarceration. So his wife wrote this actually. My husband, Samuel L. Jackson, and I have known JUSSIE since he was a baby living down the street from us in New York City. We watched him grow up from a kid who was always kind, full of joy and laughter, into a responsible teenager who, on becoming aware of the inequities suffered by some people in life, became an energetic volunteer helping anyone who was working to alleviate these inequities. Sam also worked professionally with JUSSIE in the movie Eve's Bayou and attests his discipline and professionalism on the set as a young boy. Now, I'll just leave it at that. Now, let me just say this. We got to look at it from a perspective of somebody who knows him and wants the best for him. They're not going to look at JUSSIE Smollett the same way that we will. We don't know JUSSIE Smollett, and many of us could care less about him. Okay? But they asked for him to have no jail time. Here's the one problem with that, Mr. Jackson. JUSSIE Smollett showed no remorse for the pain he caused to the city of Chicago. He showed no remorse, absolutely none, especially after the sentence was handed out, for all of the money that the Chicago Police Department had to spend to investigate his false claims when Chicago had many crimes going on that year and many people who needed the help of the police departments, of the police force in Chicago, could not have had that because of JUSSIE Smollett. So my question to you is, why do you ask leniency on Mr. Smollett when he is not remorseful or regretful of his actions? Okay. You know what this kind of reminds me of? People, like, you know, sometimes you have them in relationships, people who ask you for things that they don't deserve. Like, you know, there's guys who have these sexist relationships. You know, the woman changes and she doesn't want to do it anymore, but she still expects you to be faithful. She expects you to still provide, still be a good husband, even though she don't want to do what she's supposed to do. And she ain't got no regret that she's not doing it. No, you need to get the hell out. Right? And Jussie, if he was remorseful, I'm sorry, he didn't do that. He wanted to double down. He got what he deserved. Because Jussie Smollett doesn't care about anybody but himself. Forget the nice things that he's done in his life. That's great. What did that have to do with what he did in the city of Chicago? And he dragged this on. He had the opportunity to get out of the situation. He didn't care. So now you want them to give him leniency. He could have had this stopped a long time ago, but he kept doubling down. And he doesn't deserve any leniency. He deserved the felony. He deserves the jail time. And he still doesn't want to be accountable. And these kind of people, if you keep giving them breaks, they're going to continue to break the law. Jussie Smollett had to be put on notice that despite your sexuality, which he used as his advantage, you know, because he did mention things about, oh, well, you know, I'm LGBT. And that's why y'all hating on me. And he's black. He used that Trump card. Well, you know what? That's why you're hating on me. Guess what? You don't get to pull those things because you're black and you're LGBT. You still have to follow the law, sir. Just like I'm black and heterosexual and got to follow the laws, or white and heterosexual, or Asian in LGBT or whatever it is. You got to follow the laws. The laws are not based on who. Well, you're a good person. Still got to follow the law. Well, you know what? He gave blood over there on Long Beach Boulevard, on Crip Drive. He's giving away free sandals in Africa. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Please be lenient on him. Well, even though he's not remorseful for anything he did, he doesn't care. No. Why did you do it? And if he didn't want to be here, he shouldn't have did it. He thought he could do it and get away with it. The guy is sick. Okay? Sick. Sick. And that's the issue here. Defending that which can't be defended. But Samuel Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, he's a liberal, he's a Democrat. And the reason why we have what we have today in Black America is why people in Black America, listen to what I'm saying, some people at least, feel like the world owes them something. They can do whatever they want to do because they're black and we've experienced racism. So we get to do whatever the hell we want to do. Some people. And then you're using that as a scapegoat to why you can fuck up. No. You can't use that as a scapegoat as to why you can mess people's shit up. You can't do that, Mr. Smollett. Mr. Smollett, you have to be accountable for your actions as every other adult. And justice was served. You get to take your ass to jail like everybody else. Crying everything you want to cry. Nobody gives a shit. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Already put your for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.